Story number 1. This is from November 1977 edition. A Secret of Health. Kubera was a young man who was blessed with immense wealth and prosperity. However, he suffered from ill health. He tried several medicines to improve his condition, but nothing helped. So he lived in constant worry. Once, a friend named Charaka came on a business trip and stayed at Kubera's house. He expressed concern over Kubera's health condition. Although he was not a qualified doctor, he did know some home remedies. Using his own methods, he examined Kubera and observed no serious problem. Then he inquired about Kubera's daily routine. Kubera had breakfast after completing his morning ablution. Then he spent some time checking his financial accounts. A glass of fruit juice was served in between. After resting for a while, he had lunch. Lunch was followed by a nap. After the nap, he supervised his staff and discussed relevant personal affairs with his father. Finally, after dinner and before bedtime, he had another glass of fruit juice. Kubera explained his lifestyle to Charaka and said, "I am suffering from a dreadful disease. It does not yield to medicines. The fruit juices I drink are distasteful and the food I eat is unpalatable. The thought that I may have to spend the rest of my life like this makes me feel depressed." Charaka smiled and said, "Do not be discouraged, my friend. You need a change of air in addition to medication. I suggest you come over to my place. I believe your health will improve." Kubera took his father's permission and went to Charaka's town. The wealthy people of the town patronized art, and so cultural activities were frequently organized during evenings. Kubera found these activities highly entertaining. He eagerly looked forward to the evenings. Charaka observed his fresh enthusiasm and said, "Looks like the ambience of our town suits you. I now see in you a fervor that you lacked earlier. I met a monk last night and told him your sickness. He told me of a herb that can be found in the neighborhood of a tribal village in the forest. The user himself must pick it, and according to him, the herb would cure you of your ailment. If you agree, we can start right away." "Can we make it back before the evening?" asked Kubera. "Why not?" said Charaka. "The journey would only take a few hours." The two friends walked down the trail towards the forest. While Charaka treaded briskly, Kubera struggled to keep up and had to take frequent breaks. "You are just as old as me. I wonder why you are unable to keep up with me," mused Charaka. "I would have if I were in good health," replied Kubera. "Aren't you working towards that? If we do not hurry, our return may be delayed," said Charaka. On hearing this, a determined Kubera followed Charaka. Thus, they walked deep into the forest. Charaka stopped at a place and, pointing at a small plant, said, "This is it, the herb. Pull it out along with the roots." Kubera tore out the plant with both hands. After washing it clean in a nearby pool, Charaka gave a root of the herb to Kubera and asked him to eat it. Then he announced, "Now we can go back." Kubera's heart skipped a beat at the thought of the long walk ahead. Moreover, "I am starving, buddy," Kubera moaned. "I cannot take one more step. I need to eat." "Looks like the herb started working already," said Charaka. "Had I expected this, I would have brought along some food. But all is not lost. There's a tribal village nearby. We might find some food there." Kubera had no other option but to walk all the way to the tribal village, although it was not nearby. The tribal chief welcomed them. He immediately ordered for bamboo rice to be cooked and served to the two friends. A famished Kubera eagerly gulped down the food before he ever knew that he was eating. After the meal, they both felt sleepy. So the chief arranged beds for their nap. When they woke up, it was almost evening. On returning home, Kubera said to Charaka, Your herb had worked wonders. I had a sound sleep. My body feels healthy. Again, that night Kubera enjoyed a stomach-full dinner and slept soundly. The next day, Charaka said to him, "You are now healthy, so here's the thing. No medicine can prove appetite like fasting does. Similarly, if you wish to have a sound sleep, physical activity is the only solution. Finally, entertainment gives pleasure to the mind. Had I told you this earlier, you might not believe me. So I brought you here on the pretext of treatment. From now on," he continued, "eat only when you're hungry and exercise a little every day." Kubera was astonished at first, but then realized the truth in Charaka's advice. So he returned home and began to live as Charaka suggested. Also, he began to organize several cultural activities in his town.